Betsy, what did you get for your min here? Can't hear you. 10. Cool. For this one, 10. 50. You might have typed in 10 back. 50. What's your max, Allison? 100. Connie, what's your Q1? 70. Angel, what's your Q3? 95. Kamari, what's your median? 87.5. And then Keandra, what's your IQR? Was it? 25, right? Any questions on that? We got that from the calculator, and we know that Q3 minus Q1 is your IQR. Beautiful. Let's do this one. So, Stephen, what's your min? What's your min? 52. Michael, your max? What's your max? Look at those numbers. What is it? Looking at these numbers. 78. Damon, what's my Q1? Tyreek, what's your Q1? 70. Brooksiana, what's our Q3? Okay, she's still doing it. What is it?
70s.
Yeah, 76. Victor, what's your median? 72. And then Brandon, what's your IQR? Didn't do it. Anyone do it?
26.
Yep. Remember, it's just your Q3 minus your Q1. Now, looking at these list of numbers, are there any outliers there? Any ones that are significantly bigger or smaller than the rest of them?
No.
There is one. 52. 52, it could be a really small one. So 52 is way smaller than the rest of them, so 52 would be an outlier. There is a formula, but for this case, we're going to learn it probably after the milestone because we don't have that much time. But if something's really big or really small compared to the rest of your data, it is an outlier. Cool. So, write how you did, circle yes, maybe no, and then you're going to today's notes, or this period's notes. So, this is basically the same thing, we're just adding on. So, first thing you're going to do, we're creating a box plot. So, with today's notes, see all those numbers right there? It says create a box plot. I want you to find your 5-number summary. What does that mean you're going to be doing right now? What are you typing it into? Your data, your calculator. So you're starting with that, type it right into your calculator, and I want you to get me the min. Remember, your 5-number summary goes right in a row. Q1, median, Q3, and max. So it's always the same. It can also look like this. Min, Q1, median, Q3, max. So type it all in, see what you end up getting. This is like just one additional part to it. Some of y'all already know how to do box plots. Yep. So you put it, same thing, data, and you're putting all those in. And so when we write our 5-number summary, it usually will look something like this, where it goes min Q1, it goes right in a row. So type it into your calculator, these are your notes for this period. I'll give you another minute. All right. So, sorry, what's the min?
13.
Beautiful. So 13 goes in this first one. It's not usually going to have it underneath here, but that's how we write it. We just write it right in a row. Stephen, what was my Q1? 23. Kamari, what's my median?
27.
27. Jaslyn, what's my Q3? 32. And then Allison, what's my max? The biggest number there. Which one's the biggest number there? 55. Cool. Everyone get that. Everyone knows how to do that at this point, right?
Yeah.
Then, to make a box plot, all you're doing is it's like a box and whiskers. Does anyone remember this besides Steven? Because I know this person already knows it. Does anyone remember box and whiskers? Yeah, you did learn it in 6th grade. You did. I'm tutoring a 6th grader right now, and we're learning this. That's what we're doing. So your min is 13. So your whiskers are going to be the min and the max. So 13 is like between 10 and 15, right? So I'm going to put a dot right there. So I do a dot on the min, and then a dot on the max, and my max is 55. So first you put dots on your min and your max. Then with these three, you put lines. These are your box. So those make up your whiskers. Your box are these three. So Q1 is 23. So that's like between these two, right? So I'm going to put a line on 23 on my Q1, a line on my median, which is 27 between these two, and then a line on my Q3, which is 32. So like right here. So I just took each of those numbers. So 23 is like between 20 and 25. So I drew a line. 27 is between these two, so I drew a line, and 32 is between those two. So those three are all the lines. Last thing you do is you draw your box, so it looks like this, your box. And then your whiskers are like that. That's it. I know. And so what this shows you how spread out your data is. And so each of these intervals are quartiles. What do we say? What's a quartile word? 25%. So from here to here is your bottom 25%. So that's 25%. From here to here is 25%. From here to here is 25%. And from here to here, it's 25. They're each 25, no matter how spread out they are. Each interval is worth 25% of your data. So when they're looking at colleges and when you're looking at that, they'll say like the bottom 25% or the bottom, you have to be in the top 50% of your class or the top 25. This is how they organize. So they'll take all your GPAs and they'll figure out, okay, from here to here, anyone who falls in that category would be my top 25% of the class. Then anyone from here to here, because this is 25, this will be the top 50, top 75, and the top 100%. Does that make sense? So each interval is worth how much? 25%. So when you scroll down, or not scroll, when I scroll down, when you go down on your paper, we use a box plot to show how spread out our data is. We use the interquartile range, which we learned last period, which is Q3 minus Q1, our interquartile range. I lied. Erase that. We use the median. I know. We use the median to show the center of the data in the interquartile range to show how spread out the data is. Now, also, when there are outliers, they still count as your data, but you might see something on your milestone that looks like this, where there's little stars like that. If there's a star there, it's still a point, it just means it's an outlier. So draw a little line right there. If there's a little star that looks like that, that means it's an outlier on your box plot. So it will sometimes just be normal, but when it's really big or really small, a lot of times they'll use a star to indicate that it's an outlier. So not only we're making them today, but we're also analyzing. So what's this point known as, my what? Min. What about this one? Q1, it's also called lower quartile. So if they use those words, that just means you're Q1. What's this one? Median. This one, which is your upper quartile. So they can use those words interchangeably. And the last one? Max. So we're just going to be looking at the box plots, but also interpreting, also making them. Each of these is worth how many percent? 25%. So remember, no matter how big it is, even though this one's a lot bigger than this one, it's still just 25% of our data. And that's the notes for today. I know, thank God. Right? So let's go to let's analyze one more. Let's go to one where we have to analyze it. So let's go to this one. So the delta math you're going to be practicing today is just going to be making them and analyzing them. So we're just going to do like one practice one real quick. So what is the median here? 62, right? It's that middle one, 62. What is the lower quartile? 60. This one's 60 right there. What's the upper quartile? 64. What's the min? Your min? 58, right? That dot. What's your max? 66. And then the above 5 values are called the what? What do we call them? 5. Beautiful. The 5 number summary. What's the range? That's your inner quartile range. What's your regular range? 8, right? You do max minus min. And so inner quartile range would have been 6. What percentage of data is above the upper quartile? So we said the upper quartile is right here, right? From here to here, what percent is that? 25. So what percentage is it? 25%. What percentage is located between the lower quartile and mean? So from here to here, 25. Yep. What percentage above the median? 50, right? Because median's half, and so you can see it's 2 bumps, so it would be 50%. Median always represents 50% of your data. What percentage of the data is below the lower quartile? So here's my lower quartile. What percent is below that? 25, right? From here to here. Then it wants you, so here's our last practice. Now create that. So put that into your calculator and find your 5 number summary and create a box plot. So I just want to make sure you know this before we move on to like the delta math. Notice that the mean is not in your 5 number summary, so you know how to find it in your test. so make sure you're typing stuff in. I'm gonna cold call in like a second. A minute. All right. Michael, what's my min? Well, number smaller than 5. 4. Kamari, what's my Q1? 8.5. Tanya, what's my median? 11. Stephen, what's my Q3? What did you get? Yeah, 15.5. And then Tyreek, what's my max?
20.
Beautiful. Did everyone get that? Now, when I'm creating it, I know 4 is my smallest and 20 is my biggest. So I'm going to start at 4 and go by like 2s. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So we go by the same increment each time. And so what am I going to put on 4? A line or a dot? Dot on 4. What other one am I going to put a dot on? 20, right? Your min and your max. Then I put a line on 8.5, which is like right here. A line on 11, which is between 10 and 12. And a line on 15.5, which is like right here. Now, Kamari, what do I do with those 3 lines? Connect them, right? Do I connect all of this or just the box? The box, right? And what do I do with the dots then? Good. I draw my whiskers like that. What is each interval worth? 25%. You guys feel okay with that? Okay, I'm going to show you the delta math real quick so you can get it done and you don't have to do it for homework. And so it looks like this. So it says unit 8, unit 7 was the last one. It's these two. So the first one's creating it. So you're figuring out, you're making your 5-number summary just like we've been doing. So listen up because this is confusing on your phone. I would probably do it on the computer. So see how then you're moving the box. You don't want to get points off for this and do all the work. So like what's my min here? 3. So I got to sit and drag this to 3. What's my max? 15. So I got to drag it to 15. And then once you put it in your calculator and you find these out, you're dragging each one to where it needs to go. And filling that in and then clicking enter. And you're only doing 5 of those. Does that make sense? All right. The second one is interpreting. So this one says, what is the value of the third quartile? What would it be? What's the third quartile on this graph? 80. That's all you're doing for the second one. Sound good? All right. So log on to your computer. We are going to put that in as a classwork grade. By the